my name is Dawn Alexander. Pretty excited to be here in a class with you guys. We actually have 30 people registered for the class at this point. So you're going to see a lot more people join in. So I'm sure they're just grabbing remnants of dinner. Never feel like you can't just have dinner with us, right? Bring dinner and enjoy. Make yourself at home. We're pretty informal, so if you need to stop and run to the restroom or whatever, you can do that. Just take care of what you need to take care of. But we are excited to be here and to get to know you and provide some support for you and your business. So my name is Dawn Alexander, and I will be talking to you guys a lot. So I started in the world of childcare way back when my 21-year-old was a toddler, because every day I would go to his childcare center and pat him on the back and put him to sleep during my lunch hour, right? And so I kept going, what am I doing? And then I'd go back to my managerial job with the county and you know, day after day doing this. And so I thought, well, as long as I know how to keep them busy, I guess I could do childcare. So I did a little research and figured it out and made the leap. And so I raised my 3 kids in my licensed family childcare home. And then one day I looked up and there were 6 kids running around in my yard having a great time, but none of them belonged to me. so and my family was doing things like my husband was hanging a punching bag on the back patio for and different things where I'm like, you can't do this stuff. So decided to step away from that and became a licensing specialist for Red Rocks Community College for a little over 3 years. And from there went to Weld County's health department and worked in a contract supporting qualified exempt providers and licensed providers in the county of Weld, and was actually there when the dreaded COVID thing started, right? And so had the opportunity to provide supports for residents there. And it was pretty amazing to be able to engage and help in a way that the health departments traditionally hadn't been able to do before. And so from there, I became the executive director of the Early Childhood Education Association. So if you get the child care update usually on Thursdays that we send out every week, that's me. That's who's doing that. So really, that's the history. I was doing some consulting work in between, and that's how I met people at ECPAC, the Early Childhood Partnership of Adams County, the council there. And from there was introduced to Hannah and the SBDC and was able to come on and provide assistance here. So this is the Hannah you've been hearing from. Hannah, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, thank you. And welcome to all of you. We're so glad that you've joined us. I know you've all been getting lots of emails from me, so that will continue to be true, but we'll try to consolidate as much as possible. You'll usually just get 1 a week. Well, I lied. You'll get 2 a week. 1 on Fridays, that's just kind of a summary of what we went over on Thursdays, and 1 on Thursdays as a reminder that we meet. We'll have a class meeting that night and with the Zoom link and all of that, but feel free to reach out anytime throughout the week if you're having any questions. I'm here to support the class and to support you all however I can. So if it's tech issues or you need connections to one of our consultants or some kind of outside resource, please always feel free to reach out. For those of you that aren't familiar with the SBDC, it stands for Small Business Development Center. And our main service is offering free one-on-one consulting to small businesses with our business experts. They are in different areas of business, whether it's marketing or finances or legal. We even have a marketing specialist who has background in the childcare industry. So we have a lot of really niche focuses, and we can connect you with these people to ask your questions and get some guidance. So we really encourage that. They're usually remote appointments, either over the phone or through Zoom, and they're completely free and completely confidential. And you can take advantage of those courses, or I'm sorry, those consultations during the course and after. You don't need to be enrolled in a course. That's just a service that's always available to you. So we cover the North Metro region, North Metro Denver. So mostly Adams and Broomfield counties. And I know some of you are coming in from other parts of the state. So if that's you, you have an SBDC in your area, most likely. There are 15 across the state. So I'm happy to connect you with the SBDC that's also nearest to you if you're wanting to make that connection. But we are a network of SBDC. So we're always happy to share resources in that way.
Question.
Yes.
How do we find an SBDC in our area? How do we look it up?
I will put a link in the chat here that has a map of all of them in the state. Where are you coming from, Tess?
Montrose.
Okay, so yeah, there's a Central Mountain SBDC. So I'll put a link to that one there in the chat as well.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, great question. So that's our main service, but then we also do courses like this, and we do webinars and educational resources. So we want you all to know that we're here to support you in any way that we can. So I think that's the gist of the SBDC. I will be letting y'all know later on how to access some of the resources for this class specifically, but we'll get into that nitty-gritty after we do introductions.
You guys will get emails from the SBDC and they'll tell you about the webinars that are coming up. You can also access the history of webinars, right? So if there's something that you really want to delve into more quickly, like you're really curious about marketing or something, go on the SBDC website and look and see what webinars they've had, because they're pre-recorded and you can watch those and get started. So anyhow, welcome. Gotta tell you, like, for the half that I can see, you guys need to know, like, childcare providers are my favorite people. Not only are you kind and compassionate and you have stamina in the work that you do, you are also warriors, right? Like, you guys saved the day with COVID. And even now, like, you are there standing in the gap for families while everyone tries to figure out the world now, like, what's it supposed to look like now, right? And I know, because I talk to you guys every day, not you guys, but you guys every day. And I know that there are a ton of struggles that are still being experienced right now, right? If you had to say, my mindset about business right now is like this, or this, show me where you think you'd be. Okay.
Say that again. I'm sorry. I was writing down and what you said.
This, or this. Down, medium, or up. Okay. So some things are looking up for some people, right? Things are getting a little bit better, a little bit easier. That's exciting, right? Because last time we did this class, before sustainability funds and all of that, we had a lot more of this and this, right? So pretty excited to see that. Thank you. Okay, what we're going to do tonight is we're going to have you guys introduce one another. Introduce yourself to one another, sorry. And then we're going to go over group norms for the class and just do a few slides where we're going to talk through that business mindset a little bit. And then we're going to put you into some groups, because tonight is the time to start getting to know one another. What we want you to come out of this class with is a firm understanding that you are not alone in this industry. And in your roles, it's very easy to feel very alone at times, right? And to not have not to have someone that you can talk to who can understand exactly what you're dealing with. This is the place where you get to do that. And so we want you to spend time with a group talking through kind of where you're at right now and what's been a struggle and what's been great. Starting to get to know each other, because you're going to be in those groups, not as long as you will tonight, but you'll still be in those groups each week, touching base and getting to know each other. And I will tell you, like, people are like, wait, what's your email address? And that sort of thing, right? Like, there are great connections that are made in these classes. So we want to be very intentional about offering that to you. And as you're in your groups, if you need any support or any information or anything, you can just request that we come in, and I'll come in and talk to you, and then I can drop out because I'm not going to lurk. I promise I'm not a group lurker or anything. So, all right. So who wants to go first? I would like you guys to say your name, where you're at in the state, your program type, and I'll put these in the chat, your program type, and how long you've been in the industry. So who wants to go first?
I will. I'm Tess
Okay.
Warner, 29 years in this business. Before that, I did foster care for 9 years. I've been a single mom of 6 kids their entire lives. I've got 7 grandkids. I own an in-home located in Montrose, Colorado. That is me.
Nice.
My spare
Thank you,
time.
Tess.
Oh, that's it.
Go ahead. Yeah, that's fine. You can share
My spare
whatever else you
time,
need.
I ride my Harleys, or I'm in the dirt with my dirt bikes and side by side.
Nice.
That's it. That's
Um,
me.
I can go next. I'm
Okay.
Cassidy DeGiulio, and I have a small in-home childcare here in Montrose, Colorado also. Little Sprouts Preschool and Childcare. I've been doing it since 2006. I also work for Bright Futures, which is our early childhood council in Montrose, and I'm the new family childcare navigator. So prior to starting to doing childcare, I actually worked in banking. So I have a little bit of a banking business background. I was a manager at Wells Fargo Bank. Anyway, but I'm excited to kind of learn some more things now that I'm the family childcare navigator. I've done business for so long that it's hard for me to tell people like how to do stuff. And one thing that I found, I am single. I got divorced about 10 years ago. And so it's just my income. And so when I go to get loans and stuff like that, it's challenging because I do like my maximum write-offs. So on paper, it looks like I make nothing. And so I'm trying to figure out ways that I can show that I'm more profitable, because I feel like I make good money. But then, you know, when you look at your taxes, it's like, well, man. So just trying to figure out how to balance that a little bit would be nice.
Nice. Welcome, Chastity. Thank you. Who's next?
I can go next.
Okay.
My name is Callan Quirum, and I live in Broomfield, but I'm the director of early childhood. My title just shifted for Rocky Mountain Prep Schools, which is a charter school network in Denver. This is my 10th or 11th year. I've worked as a teacher. I worked in Denver public schools, and then I've had a role similar to this for the past 6 years. And my charter school network wants to open a childcare center in one of our buildings for staff childcare, because there's very little care available for children under 2.5, which is our license limit in our area. And then because there aren't very many childcare centers in the neighborhood that school is in. So I have no idea how to do that. Just looking into it, just trying to figure out what we can do. And trying to navigate all the complexities of what we would
There's
need
going
to
to be
do.
a grant for that pretty soon. So hang in there.
Great. So yeah, we're trying to figure out how to make this happen and make it work, and still in the planning stages. We do operate for all 4 of our campuses have preschool 3 and 4-year-olds right now.
Nice. Great. Thank you. Who else?
I can go.
Okay.
I am no stranger to Don. I've worked a lot with Don.
Yep.
We've been on many task force and projects along the way. My name is Stacy Busby. I am a Colorado Shines Level 5 experience provider here in El Paso County. I am the vice president of our local child care association, as well as the vice president of the state association. That's mostly where a lot of my work with Don in the past has come from. I sit on many task force, work with legislation and the governor's office, OEC, many other little things along the way, as well as also sit as the provider representative on our local child care council here in El Paso County. So yeah, and I've been doing childcare for almost 21 years. Mother of 3 great kids. My oldest is in the Navy. He's in Japan right now. My daughter's a freshman in college, and my youngest is a high schooler. So pretty much who I am. I'm in everything.
I can go next
Okay.
since I know Stacy. My name is Vicki Funk. I am a family childcare provider in Broomfield. I also am an association president for Boulder County, and I am the secretary for the state association. I've been doing this for about, oh my gosh, 20 years. 20 years. So
Wonderful. Thank you. Welcome.
I'll go next. My name is Valerie Holman. I am in Commerce City. I am co-owner of the Learning Experience franchise in the Reunion development. I have been in the industry for 3 years. We've been open for 3 years. And before this, I was in the automotive industry. I worked for Ford Motor Company for 11 years in marketing and sales at world headquarters. So this is all brand new to me, but as a divorced mom of a 6-year-old, I wanted to be able to be more present in my son's life, and corporate America would not allow that. So I made a change. I jumped into this industry because I fell in love with the learning experience where my son went in Michigan. So we're from Michigan.
Valerie, you knew how to jump in, right? Like you picked a time to do that. Holy cow.
6 months before the pandemic, yes.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, lots of tears, tears, not knowing what was going to happen, what we were going to do. But then I got to say, the state of Colorado is amazing when it came to helping the families, helping them to get through the pandemic, which helped us to get through the pandemic. So I've learned so much in the last 3 years, but I don't know what I don't know. And I know that there's a lot that I don't know. So that's why I'm here.
Welcome.
Thanks.
I'll go. My name is Sarah Carr, and I'm actually a provider in Frederick. I'm also the president of the Carbon Valley Child Care Association. So if anyone is up this way, we'd love for you to join us. I am an in-home provider, and I've been doing this 9 years. And I was told by my rating coach that I needed to take this class for extra points for the Colorado Shines rating program. So that's why I am here.
Perfect. Welcome.
My name is Cassandra Twinaboa.
Okay.
I am a family childcare provider in Colorado Springs, and I've been in the industry probably for about 19 years. So, and I have a large home daycare.
Awesome. Thank you, Cassandra. Welcome.
I'm Carol Duhame.
Hi, Carol.
I'm Carol Duhame. Hey, Dawn, how you doing?
Good.
I'm in Larimer County, Fort Collins. I currently have a small in-home daycare, applied for a large, although after today, I feel like a total failure. This afternoon was horrible. but I just keep telling myself this too will pass. And because I'm thinking of an employee and making some changes, and I'm kind of freaking out about that completely. I decided to take these classes again. They were awesome the last time, but I took them for different reasons. And I'm hoping that I get I know I'll get what I need out of them for what I'm doing. Anyhow, I'm wondering
Welcome
if
back.
it's too old, am I too old to make a lifestyle change and start drinking? I think I might need it with this job. I opened March 1st of 2020, so it's been a cold roller coaster. And hi, everyone.
Welcome.
Hi, I'm Catherine Upjoke. I'm here in Broomfield. I have been in this field for going on 26 years. I am also a 5-star Colorado Shines. And I am glad to be here.
Wonderful. Welcome.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch it. Catherine, do you have a family home or a center?
Family home.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Deanna. I am based in Fort Collins. I have a small in-home preschool that I run. And so I focus on ages 3 to 6. And it's a performing arts preschool. And so I combine my loves. And I've been in childcare and, again, the performing arts for many years, but I took the jump and I opened last August.
Nice. Wow. Okay. Welcome.
Hi. Oh.
Oh.
Okay,
Renee and Courtney.
Go ahead. I'll come after you.
Okay. I'm Renee. I worked as a teacher in a daycare for 4 years, and then just in the last 6 months have been trying to start up my own in-home daycare, but I also had a baby 3 months ago, so I've been kind of off and on since that. And yeah, just trying to, I'm in Fort Lupton, and so I'm just trying to get started up here.
Nice. Welcome. Courtney.
Hey, my name is Courtney Templeton. I work up in Timnath, Deanna and Carol. But I live in Loveland, Northwest Loveland, so right south of Fort Collins, but it's faster to get there than this interstate. And I have been teaching in elementary education for, I think it's been 15 years. In the last 2 years, I had a baby and then taught through COVID online for a bit of it. And then it occurred to me in November that because of the lack of childcare and the lack of quality and the lack of reflection on a teacher schedule, because I don't want to pay all summer and I don't want to send my child for spring break, I am going to open a small in-home daycare here in Northwest Loveland starting in August. And it's going to follow a teacher schedule and hopefully provide services for local teachers here in Loveland and possibly Fort Collins, depending on their trajectory. So, but I'm not opened yet. And I'm super new to all of this. I'm trying to get up unlicensed in the next month or so, but I'm also teaching full time with a toddler. So I'm hiding in the basement. So new to everything, trying to get all the semantics of this new industry. I have worked at preschools, but it was a lifetime ago. And I've been teaching elementary school for my whole professional career. So gonna dip down to the littles now.
Got a question to ask you. Courtney.
Go, Tess.
You're gonna go with, I heard you say you're gonna go with the school calendar.
Correct.
So when you're off, when the teachers are off during the summer, does that mean they're gonna be able to pay you to hold their spots during the summer since you're not doing childcare?
No, so we'll follow Thompson School District, Poudre School District, and then Loveland Classical's calendar. We will close for part of Thanksgiving break, holiday break, spring break, and then we'll be open bookending a week at the end of the summer for PSD teachers to go to Summer Institute is what it's called, like their trainings. So, and then no, I will have optional care days in the summer, and they're going to be like optional. And it's more of like a summer campy thing. But I'll be open August through like mid-June.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Yeah.
Welcome. Who's next?
Hello, my name is Rich Silvis. I currently own 2 childcare centers. They are called Colorado Children's Academy They're out in El Paso County in the downtown Colorado Springs area. And then I also help manage Denver Child Care Academy here in Denver, where I'm currently at right now. Been in the field for almost 20 years now. So I started off doing being a school age teacher, did preschooling a little bit, and then so finally started to get into the administrative side. And so I'm the type of person that's always constantly learning. And when I seen this class pop up, I was like, whoa, this is definitely for me. And I'd like to see, the cool new things I could be learning just as the rest of you.
Welcome. Who's next?
Hi, I'm Megan Keeling. So I'm from ECPAC, the Early Childhood Partnership of Adams County. And so I'm our part-time family child care home navigator and also our quality improvement navigator. I've been in the field for 12 years as a director of a large center. So I just started this job in February.
Welcome, Megan. Good to meet you. Who's next?
Okay, I'll go. I am Louise Lisboa. I am actually not a child care provider. I am from Connecticut, and Hannah and Dawn have been so kind to have me on today. I work with child care providers in Connecticut, providing them business services, family homes, and centers, and looking to bring a course like this out to Connecticut.
We're glad to have you, Louise. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay, who else? Everyone's got to talk, so
I'll go next.
Okay.
I'm Victoria. I'm in Denver. I work at a small center in the Highlands. I'm taking this course. It popped up on one of my teacher director sites on Facebook, and I was recently promoted up to assistant director in January of 2020, and it's just been a roller coaster since then. And my poor director and I have been so understaffed. We literally haven't had time to have a conversation about anything. So I'm trying to take it upon myself and learn some stuff on my own so that I can bring it to the table when she's ready to have time to teach me some stuff, and I can be more prepared when she's ready to hand me some more reins.
Great initiative, Victoria. Thank you. Welcome.
Thanks.
Who else? Hi. Oops, Christy, you're still muted.
Hi, I'm Christy. I'm currently a center director up in Westminster. However, I'm in Greeley, and I'm gonna try to start my own childcare center up in Greeley. I'm just in the beginning stages of it, so I'm taking this course to just have more support in that. But I've been in the childcare business for 10 years now. Yeah.
Great. Welcome.
Thank you.
Let's see. Who else? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16. 5, 10, 15, 16. Did we get everyone, or am I missing one person? Vicky, have you gone yet?
Vicky Funk?
We heard from Vicky Funk.
We heard from Vicky Funk, but Vicky McKeel? I'm not good at last names.
Oh, yeah.
At the very, yeah.
There's
Maybe she had to step away. Okay. So I don't think we're missing anyone else, right? All good? Okay. So we're going to look at some slides. All right. Oh, look, they went away. Don't you just love when that happens? Hold on. Let's see here. Now they'll come back. All right. So this is my least favorite part of the class, right? Going over group norms. I shouldn't say that. as a coach and a trainer, I should be like, oh, wait, how do I always forget. There we go. Okay. So really, we're looking at the standard kinds of things, right? For this class, we really want to make sure that what you say here or what you hear in this class about someone else's business remains here in this class, because we want all of you to be confident and comfortable in having conversations about what's going on, right? We want you to go ahead and have conversations and have some crosstalk, some advice, but we just also need to, we're going to have a lot of guest speakers throughout, and it will limit our other time. So if you have a lot of really big advice, if you can save that for the groups when you do breakouts and stuff, that'll be helpful there. But don't be afraid to like jump in. I'm pretty casual as far as conversations go. So if something's burning, like just you can jump in and we'll talk. We'll go there, okay? Be present. The thing is, participation is what's going to make all of this information stick for you. So if you are sitting back and not really engaging, I'm going to tell you that most of this is going to come through the screen to you and go far away. It's never going to stick around. So we really want you to be engaged. Step up, step back, right? Go ahead and get engaged, but also give other people the opportunity to do that. Follow attendance and homework policies. Yes, I said homework. I know what it's like to be in the industry. I'm in the industry every day in a different role, right? I'm not going to give you tons and tons of homework. I'm not trying to overwhelm you, but I am going to give you something that's really intended to make that information stick and to have you practice something that we've learned in class that night. So there will be that. Attendance, really, if you can't make it to a class, you can catch up because it's being recorded. And so Hannah's going to go over that at the end, but you can go and review the recording and just let her know that you've done that, so that she can make sure to check that off, because she's doing attendance. You're getting PDIS credit for this. So she needs to make sure that you are doing all of those things, seeing all of the information so that you can get your full credit. We do ask that you start flexing that practice muscle when it comes to consulting, right? We'd like you to schedule one-on-one consulting session. They're free. But we just want you to get in that, just start that habit, right? Of if you have a need, connecting to a resource that's going to provide support. And we have a lot of amazing people that you're going to meet throughout our classes that do coaching and that do consulting. And so we want you to really connect on that. That watching videos already covered that. What else? Is there anything else that I'm missing that you guys really want to have be a part of what we're doing? Any rules or etc.? Okay, I'm going to take that as a no. So we're going to talk through this. So being an entrepreneur can frequently feel like this, right? All of the balls in the air. I know when I come back from a vacation, like when I take a week off, because you set all the balls down, I come back and I stare at that and I'm like, how am I supposed to pick those all up? Like, how on earth do I get them all moving at the right rhythm and everything again, right? It takes some time to get back, because when you're an entrepreneur, you're just so used to shuffling everything constantly. So it may look like this, or it may look like this, right? Lots of pressures, lots of questions. People constantly coming at you for more information, more resources, more help on different things. Can anyone relate to that feeling? Oh, they're so quiet. You'll get over that. Okay, good. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah, right? It's like, it's overwhelming. And then you have this, right? Like this is a nice little chart of what a business looks like, right? You've got these great ups where you're like, yes, everything's wonderful. And then all of a sudden you're like, someone says COVID and down you go, right? And then there's some kind of like, suddenly families terminate, or a staff member, like one of your staff members leaves, and you're like in this loop where you're going, oh no, like we have to shift everything around. We've got to figure it all out, right? Pivot. So it's never this straight, consistent line. People would like business to be something that goes like this, right? On a steady, nice incline. And you just apply a few more skills and you go a little higher, and a few more skills and a little higher. And it's like, that would be amazing. That is not business, right? But what you have to know is, as your business goes, whether you're going up or you're going down or you're in that loop, that you have resources. You've got your early childhood councils to tap into. You've got statewide associations to tap into. You've got the SBDC in your area to tap into, right, for supports. So it's time to put on a business hat and think about what kind of business resources and supports you can access as you're going through all of these different fluctuations in business. Now, I'm going to assume that every last one of you is really good at managing your finances, managing your staff, handling the family, maintaining the building, right? Like all of those things are super easy for all of you, right? Probably not. All of you are going to have different strengths, right? And those strengths are going to be the things that put you right here in your comfort zone, the things that you could do with your eyes closed. A lot of you, some of you are like an assistant director. Some of you are a director and have other assistants that work with you. You may have different strengths that you have in your program, right? And so together, you might have a nice number of things right here in the comfort zone. When you are stepping into a risk zone where things are a little bit unknown and you're starting to learn, that is an example of a growth area for you. So we're only really learning if we're challenged, right? And so, but challenge doesn't feel so good sometimes, right? And then there's the panic zone where we're all like, no, keep me away from there, right? I could say there's the ignore it zone, right? Lots of times people put finances into the ignore it zone and think that business is going to go well when they do that. If you're that person, you have learned that is never going to be an effective way to approach business, right? So in this class, we're going to learn some things that you can do that are going to make you a little bit, like if you're like me, they make you a little nerdy, right? About some of these things. When you know your numbers, you're going to be very excited about business because it's going to help you make decisions and keep you out of the panic zone. Because panic zone is you wake up and realize you don't have any cash in your cash flow. You spent it all, right? But you still need whatever. So we need you to stay in your comfort zone, but start really stretching into this risk area a little bit, learning, not just from me, but from other people in this class, right? Growth areas, taking care of yourself. I would hope through COVID that people have learned to take care of themselves too. Childcare providers are not always really great at taking care of themselves because you're so busy taking care of the families that are in care with you that you sometimes, especially, I'll say it, family childcare homes are notorious for prioritizing other families over their own. And it's very visible in the policies that they keep modifying over and over again because parents are making this request and then that request. And pretty soon you end up working in a business that you cannot stand because it doesn't look anything like what you started with. So, so we want to make sure that that was a tangent. Sorry, first night, that's my privilege. We just really want to make sure that you're growing in the areas that you need to, right? The areas where you find you're kind of pushing over there trying to ignore, let us help you find some skills, some tools, some resources to help you really address those things, tackle them, and be a stronger business person all around because of it. Okay, we talked about how you forget stuff. Have you guys heard of the forgetting curve? There goes that one. In 1 hour, 50% of the material you learned tonight or hear tonight, gone, right? You're gonna forget it. In 1 day, if you don't do anything with it, 70% of the material is gone. And in 1 week, 90%. So when I say a little bit of homework, because you got to practice and use those muscles, that's why. Because I am not up here trying to waste my breath for 6 weeks talking to you guys to have it go in one ear and out the other, right? Like, let's not do that. I love working with childcare providers, but I need to know, like, you're going to dig in and make a difference with your business through this class. So this is what it's going to look like. We're going to talk about, well, we talked about the mindsets, agreements, commitments. You guys are going to get to meet each other and spend some time talking to one another tonight, because we really want to start that out strong. And then when you come out of group, I'm going to give you your homework for next week. Next week, we're going to have a licensing specialist come. We're going to get this part out of the way, right? I mean, because I know that licensing is not always anyone's favorite part, but we're going to hear about the things that the state really wants to reiterate with you guys about background checks and different things, right? It's an opportunity, a very neutral place for you to be able to ask some questions of one of the state licensing specialists. So I want you to bring questions with you next week about the things that have kind of been, you've been wondering, but you've been afraid to ask your own specialist. Here's your chance, right? And so we'll do that. And that's going to help you to have more effective compliance inspections. And we can talk through afterwards about different approaches, different things that you can do to make that very, very efficient. Session 3 is going to be marketing and staffing. Lots of stuff there, websites, social media, staffing strategies, all kinds of things. Session 4 is bookkeeping, understanding budgets, maximizing revenues. See, you guys are in business because you want to do the numbers, right? No, so it's not going to sound like an exciting night, but this night is going to be very, very, very important for your business. Organizational structure and risk management for session 5. So we'll talk through, we're going to have 2 guests that night, someone who's going to talk through legal structures for your business and someone else who's going to discuss insurance, right, for risk management. And then session 6, that's when we're going to wrap up everything. Like, what have we forgotten? What else do we need to reinforce? What are the things that you're going to take away from this class? And then we'll be done. I'm telling you, these 6 weeks are going to fly by like that, right? So, nope, you don't get to see that yet. That's the homework part. So we are going to, Hannah's going to do this magic thing where she's going to send you off to groups, and these are going to be your consistent groups for the remainder of the time. And it's going to be with people who are in similar businesses to you. Guys, in this group that we have right now, holy cow, like we have got a ton of home providers this time so far. I'm looking at the rest of the list. Some of them we can't identify whether or not they're centers or homes. We've got a good number of centers that are kind of missing tonight. So if you're in the center group, it's going to be pretty small tonight, right, Hannah? It looks like.
It'll be about the same size because you'll all be in one group. So those other centers who join will become a second group of centers, but we try to keep, you'll all have between 5 or 6 people in your groups. So it should be, enough time for everyone to be able to share and get to know each other.
Perfect. Okay, it looks like I missed out on chats while I was on the other thing. What did I miss here? Let's see. Help grant writing. Yup. Practice. Yeah, perfect. Sarah Carr, you're horrible about self-care, huh? We'll challenge you on that a little bit, okay? And Carol, same thing. Buy a Harley. Tess, you're so funny. And do good walking and stay up. All right. Okay, so I'm caught up. Sorry, guys. So here's the thing. I want you to go to the group and really start meeting one another, talking about your business a little more in depth, right? How was it for you during COVID? How is it now? Like, is it getting better? Is it getting better just because you have sustainability funds, or is it really getting better in your business? What's making that work? What's the obstacle or the challenge that you're facing? I want you to have some real conversations about that. And if you need to talk to me or pull me into your group, just there's a way to do that. So just request that and I'll come into the room and visit with you and find out what's going on, and then I'll pop out. So any questions? Okay, so we're going to send you off to do that. And then tonight really is very informal on this stuff. We're going to have you I want you in there for like I want everyone to have a chance to talk. So we're talking a good 30 minutes, okay? It's a pretty low-key night tonight, but it'll be valuable for you. All right, we'll see you in a bit. Okay, guys, welcome back. So, how was that? Good? Awesome. Yeah, most of you didn't come out right away, which is like a good sign. I'm like, oh, they're still in there. So
you put a bunch of seasoned providers in with one that's not quite there yet. So you can imagine how that conversation went.
A lot of advice in that room, I'm sure, right?
Right.
Awesome. Well, and that's the thing, like, and let me just say, I do want to say this because this has happened once or twice in the past. If you didn't feel comfortable in your group or didn't feel like it was a good fit, you need to email Hannah, because we don't want to keep putting you back into a group where you're like, this particular group makes me crazy, right? Like, let's just be serious. We've all been in groups where someone makes us crazy. No one's going to take offense to that, right? So if you have an issue like that or something, just shoot Hannah an email so that she can connect you with the right group, with a different group, so it maybe is a better fit. Just putting that out there. I'm not saying that anyone has said that or anything else this time around, but I just really want to make sure everyone gets the most out of this that they can. So good deal. So we're going to do 2 things left, and you're going to get out a few minutes early. We're going to talk about our homework. So let me show you what that is. There is an article, and Hannah's going to show you how to find it. It is in your Google Classroom, and it's about mindset, right? Fixed versus growth mindset. And when you read this article, it's going to challenge you. It's going to really make you think about the impact of mindset on your business, right? The use of those different mindsets in your classrooms, all of that. Like, my copy's all marked up, you guys. Stars, underlines. You're going to love this article. So Hannah's going to show you how to do that. We need everyone to do the pre-course survey, and she's going to talk to you about that as well, because we need information. We want to make sure that we're covering the things that you're looking for, that we have a little bit of information about your program, that sort of thing. So we need everyone to do that. And then I also want you to start thinking, like you saw the summary of classes that we're going to have. Start thinking about which of those areas, what am I really going to want to tap into some consulting with so that I can get support on that topic or something. And so Hannah just put the link for North Metro SBDC's consultants there, so you can click on that and go ahead and schedule with people, look through, see what people's area of expertise is. If you have QuickBooks, I'm telling you, Carol is amazing, right? Like, don't struggle with QuickBooks when she can just easily walk you through what you need to do to fix something. So that sort of thing. So I want you to definitely read that article. And then next week, we're going to talk about it. That's what we're going to talk about in small groups. So you're going to go into that group and have a conversation about this article. So don't skip it. Hannah, do you want to walk us through the classroom?
Yes. Let me
stop share. There you go.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right. So we use Google Classroom to house all of our materials. So the easiest, there are several ways you can get into it. One of them is through the link in the email I sent to you all in our welcome message, and I'll also include it in the wrap up email tomorrow. But you can also get it directly through Google. It's one of the apps through Google. So I'll show it to you this way. Here's the thing, this is really important. You do have to have a Gmail account, and you have to sign in with an email that literally ends in @gmail.com, a Gmail domain. I know a lot of people will have their work account connected to a Gmail account, but it shows as they're, at your workplace. Unfortunately, that won't work for this classroom because of the way our account is set up. So we will work on fixing that in the future. But even if you have to create just a new Gmail account, you don't have to use that email for your communications with the class or anything, just to get into the classroom. So once you are signed in to your Gmail account here, you can go to the apps, and it's actually just one of the apps here. You see the classroom, and you can click this add button to create or join a class, and click join class. And then the class code was also in the email and will also be in the email here. It's also right here. I can put it in the chat. So put in that class code and then join, and it will take you right to the page. So this first page is the stream. It's kind of just like a feed if you're used to social media. It's where people can put announcements or comments or questions, anything like that. To start us off, there's a little intro of Dawn. So feel free to use this to connect with each other if you're interested, or if you have anything you'd like to share. Below that, you'll see all of these notifications about things. I forgot about this one. Here's a tutorial about the classroom if you need that. But all these other ones are just notifications anytime I add something to the classroom. So I'm sure you don't want to get notified of that every time that happens. So the way you can manage that is in the main menu here, go to your settings, and then you can decide what kind of settings you want here. You can turn them all on, or you can choose which ones you want to turn off. You can turn them all off, and then it's just on you to make sure you check in to see what is going on that week, whatever's best for you, but that's under settings here. And then where all of the actual materials are is under this classwork tab. You'll see all of these different topics here over on the left. This is probably one that's on a lot of people's minds, is PBIS credits. If you're able to, I know a lot of times there's issues with the system, with the PBIS system, but if you're able to, you can log into the system here and actually register yourself for this course within PBIS. So you're all already registered for this course within our SBDC process, and that's how you got registered in the course. But to also get it put into PBIS, you can register here that way. If it's not working for you, like I said, don't panic. We'll make sure you get the credit at the end of the course. But if you're able to, you can take a look at this. And then we use the same Zoom link every week, and you can get that here. I also send it in the reminder every week, but just so you always have it, there it is. And then each session, there's a different category or topic. So you can see for this first session, here's the PowerPoint Dawn went over. This is that article. That's homework for this week. So to read it, you can click on it and either read it in this reading pane here, or if you click the print button, you can either print it or download it. You can save it to your, I guess I don't need to do all that, but you can either print or download if you want to have a physical copy. Sorry, my panel's in the way here. Oh, that wasn't right. Okay, you just get to see all the things now. 1 second. There we go. Okay, so back to the classwork tab. So again, that was in the first session. If you are curious about what's coming up, you can check out the other sessions. We do have the topics in there from our previous course. A few things will change week to week, but this is also where we'll put the recordings from each session. So we record it and then add it the next day. So if you do ever have to miss a session, that's fine. We get it. It's helpful if you can give me a heads up, just so we know, so we can plan the groups around you not being there. And then to make up anything that you miss, you can just review the recording once it's uploaded to the classroom. And if you can afterwards send me an email with something that you learned or something that you can implement in your business, just some kind of takeaway to show that you did indeed review the recording. That's really all you have to do to make up that session that you missed, and we'll make sure you still get that credit and everything. And then the last tab here is the resource library. This is kind of just like a dump of really helpful things. There's a lot in here that you can scroll through and see what's going to be most applicable to your business, and maybe some might even spur some ideas of things you hadn't thought about for your business. So some fun stuff to check out in the resource library that we're just always continually adding to as well. And then the people tab, if you're curious about some of the other people in the course, you can see them here. We can talk about a class contact sheet later if that's something that people are wanting to stay connected, because we do really value the relationships that are built during the course. But again, most of what you'll be doing is here in this classwork tab. So are there any questions about the classroom?
No, but what is your email address?
Oh, good question. I'll put that in here right now, and you'll also have it from the emails that I send out. You'd think I could type and talk at the same time. Okay, there it is. Hannah.curtis@frontrange.edu. Yes. And if you do have questions once you get into the classroom and start playing around with it or anything like that, just feel free to let me know. But I think that was pretty much all I had. I wanted to show you the classroom, the link for scheduling appointments. I think I put in there. If you do want to ever check out more about our consultants, or like John had mentioned, the video library and some of those other resources that we have, our website is northmetrosbdc.com. So I'll put that in here as well, just so you have that. But yeah, let me know if you have questions.
Squeezed a little bit of time. So I just want to do a check-in and see if you guys, like, a lot's been happening in our industry recently, right? Do you guys have any questions, anything you've been wondering about? This is a good chance to get some clarity on some things if you have anything that you're wondering or about. Let's see here. the new Department of Early Childhood, Universal Preschool, local coordinating organizations,
Yes.
safe water.
All of that.
Yes. Yes. So no, that's not the way we're doing this.
Okay, I got a question. With the grant money that we're getting monthly,
yes.
The communication between me and the Denver office, my emails always worked, but now it's not allowing me into the system. And they keep giving me more passwords to use, but nothing's working. And the 15th is coming up really quick. What can I do to get this back on the road to where I can log into the website and stuff to answer questions for this monthly grant that we're getting? Because I'm getting nowhere with the Denver office.
Okay, hang on. Let me grab a link because then I can. Are you talking to Metrics IQ directly?
Yes.
Okay, because they are the ones that are managing the grant. So let me just, for anyone that has questions for them, all of the access points for them can be found in this graphic right here.
Okay, hang on. It's so easier to take a picture than try to write all this down.
Yeah. And if you're on your computer, if you'll just click on it and right click on it and open it in a different tab, that's a good way to do it. But that's a graphic we put up there just so that constantly, consistently, you always have one place to go back to be able to find it again, right? Because 3 months later, you're going to go, oh, where was that? How do I do that, right? So it's just always there so that you can get that. Okay, Kellen.
I do have questions about universal childcare. I don't know. I have nothing. I don't know. Except I think that it's 10 hours a week.
Yep. So for 4-year-olds, right? That's what Prop EE was about. It promised a minimum of 10 hours for every 4-year-old in the state of Colorado. So now the big challenge for the governor is to make sure that he has space for all of those 4-year-olds who are going to want universal preschool, right? To get their free 10 hours a week. If the child is low income and there's funding available, they can actually get full-time universal preschool for free if they're 4-year-olds. And then if they have special needs, just like with CPP, right? You've got special, so in CPP, you have to, if you're a 3-year-old, you have to have 3 identifiers, that sort of thing. Well, this little piece of legislation that, right, that is now actually, this isn't all of it because it's now 600 pages from what I heard. We'll tell you that now it's, if you're low income and have one identifier and 3 years of age, that they'll try and pull those kids into universal preschool as well. The end goal really in the end in Colorado is to make sure that all 3 and 4-year-olds in the end will have a free universal preschool. This is just the first step in that direction. And so they really want to get to that end possibility. But that could be 10 years down the line. That could be something that never evolves, right? Because of politics and finances and all of the various things. But right now, that's what it is. Does that make sense?
Don? Yes, it does. Does the bill have how the centers will be paid?
Valerie, they don't know that. They don't know that yet.
They don't know anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, what they do know is that they're creating something called local coordinating organizations. And those coordinating organizations are going to be, they could be your early childhood council, they could be your school district, they could be your Department of CDHS, right, for CCAP office or something, or it could be a nonprofit that is just in a specific geographical area, and they're going to offer, they're going to manage those funds. They'll bring them in, manage the funds, and get them out to you. So they'll blend and braid those funds and pay you in advance for the school year is how it's written out right now. And then throughout the year, they'll kind of go, okay, are they still in attendance? If they're not, you owe them back money unless you have another, right? That's in care, that sort of thing. So you're gonna really have to make sure that if someone leaves, you're not spending the money because the money needs to go back, right? Yeah.
Make sure you got a waiting list.
Yeah.
So CAFCC Legislation Committee had a conversation with Michael Cook last night. And we got a little bit of information from her. I don't know if you guys are aware of who she is, but she's the acting deputy director, right, Dawn? Acting deputy director, interim.
Well, she's in the governor's office managing this whole universal preschool implementation. So she's that person for the governor.
She's the person that has this information. And I can tell you, she is facilitating a meeting this week in this Saturday at El Paso County, or in El Paso County. So I'll be attending that. But so they're going to be developing their own standards for preschool, their own standards for what programs. They're not looking to write a program. So for example, I use Mother Goose. Mother Goose is aligned with the ELDGs. It is aligned with Colorado Shines. It is aligned with the state. So for example, when their committee gets together, if they go through and they say, we have 5 preschool programs that you can use, you're going to have choices. So it's not going to be a state written preschool program.
They're calling it a resource bank. And so they're going to do the work of like making sure that it meets the criteria of what they want to see happen. And that they have to update that resource bank at a minimum every 3 years. So that you can always go to that bank and go, okay, what other options do I have, and how much do they cost, and how do they function, and all of that.
And that was the question I did forget. So I'm going to talk with Michael about it on Saturday, but I did forget to find out, is this bank, I cannot assume, and I would not even imagine because of the financial aspect of it, they're going to purchase that program, because that program is going to cycle. Mother Goose cycles every 3 years. Funshine cycles every 3 years. So my guess is that it's just going to be, these are the approved preschools that you can choose.
Right.
So start your research within the next 2, 3, 6 months. If you're not doing a preschool program,
wait for the resource bank to come out. Let them do the work, right?
Well, yeah,
really.
But I mean, if you're using one, great. If you're not,
and if you have one that you love, and you like, they'll put correspondence out there for you, saying like, okay, we're starting to build this resource bank. If you have a preschool curriculum that you love, let us know about it so that we can do the research, right? They'll do the due diligence behind it. And say, okay, yes, this one's great. Yet, no, not this one, whatever. You could literally use the ELDGs in themselves as your curriculum.
Most definitely.
Early learning development guidelines. Sorry, guys, right?
They're not sure. They're not sure. What was I going to say? Oh, they're not sure which, like Teaching Strategies Gold is an observation tool. They're not sure what observation tools they're going to be looking at, because they're going to be looking at all of that. Because like Mother Goose has one embedded in their program. So the thought is that if the program has one embedded, you might not. So they're looking at all that. But I did get confirmation, and this is something that's not out there. This is looking to be for the school year only. These parents are going to have to find additional care. So not just before and after school care, but summer care when the schools are out of session. So that's something that she did clarify last night, because that has not been asked. And I asked that question, like, what about these parents that are thinking they've got, free preschool all day long?
For 12 months,
Yeah, and it is 2 hours a day, 5 days a week. It is a 2 hour a day, 5 day week. So one of the examples that was given was, Michael said, so Stacy, let's just, since you're the one I'm talking to, we'll pretend. So I use Mother Goose It's an approved program for everything. I'm offering it for 4 hours a day. Let's say I'm only doing 4 hours in the morning, 4 hours in the afternoon. This program is only going to pay me for 2 hours a day. The parents will have to offset the other 2 hours.
Okay.
So that's another thing that's out there as well that I had not seen anything until last night. So those are just a couple of little things to kind of start planning ahead on. We're going to she said that us being homes, I'm not sure about the centers because they're a little different in their governing, but in homes, we're going to be able to kind of have a little bit of ownership of this. They're not going to be just saying, this is what you have to do. You're going to have.
So Stacy, hold on. Yeah, I want to talk about that, right? Here's the reality. Our state has to create capacity for this program, right?
Yep.
So they are not going to start with a lot of very stringent things that keep you from accessing this program. So they are going to they're going to offer supports, resources, CAFCC, ECEA, all of these different programs are going to be supporting you and helping you through to be successful in establishing this if this is what you want to do. So that's the good news, right? If you want to do it, there's going to be a way for you to do that.
Yeah, and she said last night, the first couple of years is going to be their big learning curve. Their, and it's our learning curve too. I mean,
we've made it vividly clear. You give us a bunch of rules up front, like we're like, I'm out, right?
Yep,
they cannot afford to have you be, I'm out.
We did do that, didn't we?
Out.
You are going to have to apply to provide universal preschool. It will be.
Oh, I thought it was going to be a requirement across the board.
No, it's not a requirement.
So those LCOs that they're going to create, local coordinating organizations, you will actually do an application with them to be one of their providers.
Gotcha.
And that way they'll know how many spaces and that sort of thing that you're going to be offering universal preschool in. That local coordinating organization is also the access point for families, right? So that families will be able to go to them for support to register. They'll have one application that gives them access to all kinds of resources and benefits, including CCAP. And ultimately, if they can build that out so that it includes TANF and Medicaid and everything else.
I don't know about those yet, but she
not
did say
yet,
it would
but
have
that's
CCAP.
the end goal, is to be able to get it to where very easily a family can just enter their information and boom, something pops up and goes, did you know that you qualify for CCAP? You can have discounted childcare. Instead of like this stigmatized service where you have to go down to an office building and sit there in the lobby and fill out the paperwork, right? So they're really going to do a lot of things to make it very accessible for families, because we want to make sure the kids have their best start, which is awesome.
And I'm guessing they're going to incentivize.
There's a payment. There's a payment stipend. They don't know what that stipend is yet.
But
I can't tell you
that. You know how the sustainability grant, you need to accept CCAP students, and so things like
no,
that.
not necessarily. No, not
Nope.
necessarily.
Okay.
No.
When I met with Michael yesterday, she did say it's the standard things right now that you want to be working on, right? You want to improve your program quality rating. You do want to have a CCAP contract at this point. Like those are the things that are going to start you out very. That'll put you ahead, right? When it comes to the time of the process.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to accept CCAP necessarily. From my understanding, what she said is that we want you to have CCAP availability.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Availability. To do that, you have to have a CCAP contract. So figure out what counties you're going to do that with.
Yeah, but
Tess, you had a question.
Up here in Montrose, we've got quite a few providers that have a CCAP contract just because of their rating system. They don't accept CCAP clients by any means because they think it's a downfall for their establishment. So what good is having a CCAP contract if Denver isn't making sure that these providers are actually accepting CCAP children?
Yeah, well, we know about that, right? The system knows about that. And that's where some of the rules about this system that'll be developed by the new executive director will come into play. So we'll just, some of this is waiting, right? Waiting to see how they want to address those issues and stuff. So Tess, a lot of that will become clearer as we go through. It's a really hard time. Like, we're all trying, they're building this whole system and everyone has a million questions trying to figure out what it's going to look like in the end. Honestly, as advocates, we're kind of trying to be ahead of the rocket that's going into space, right? They're building the rocket as they go. We're trying to be ahead of the rocket and go, wait, that screw there. You're gonna pick up, right? that's what it's like right now, but that's okay. We're all going to make sure voices are included and do our best to help everyone build a system that supports you well and honors and values what you do, because families desperately need you too.
Well, and Michael really, really supports childcare.
Oh, yeah.
In
Yeah.
homes.
Yeah. She's a huge advocate for the industry.
We're going to be at the table on the application process.
Yep.
So that's something that we got established last night, that we're going to be on that table for that application. So it's going to be, you know, user friendly. We'll help make sure of that.
And they've been working on it for months now already. Like, they've got a lot of people that are like, so it's not like someone goes, I'm going to fix this thing, and they go in their back room and close the door and just sit down and start building, right? Like, it is tons and tons of people giving input throughout in all kinds of various places to really build something that hopefully, and they're putting a lot of money into infrastructure, right? Because we all know about PDIS and the challenges that we've had there, right? So they're really going to work. They're putting a lot more money into the PDIS development so that they can fix a lot of those glitches that are like your everyday nightmare, right? And make those things work better, so that it serves you really, really well. So it's really, I mean, I'm optimistic, but I know it's going to be a painful transition. So just think about that. I'm going to let you guys go 10 minutes early tonight. Don't get used to it, because that doesn't happen very much around here. Okay. But you go and have a great night. And we look forward to seeing you back here next week. Bring your licensing questions and do your homework. Okay? Thanks, guys.